Welcome back to SouFLoTV again, everybody. It's your host with the most. This video right here, I'm going to be cool, calm, and collected because I need you to listen. This is a immigration update video, and this one is very important. I'm leaving my Jamaican flag up there because it represents me as an immigrant, and I want you to know that I am an immigrant that has been living in the United States of America for many years now, and I've never been in trouble with the law, and I don't intend on ever getting into any kind of trouble that would jeopardize my immigration status. While saying that, I hope you are the same. We do these immigration updates because we cater to an immigrant community at large on this particular channel, right? And there are new updates that are very important. Let me say this before I even start. I'm starting to bet on Donald Trump. I am not a betting man. I am not a betting person. But if I was to put my money somewhere, I would probably start putting it on him. And the reason why is because I don't have to necessarily agree with his personality and his policies or whatever, but he is someone that gets it done. If he says he's going to get it done, it is probably going to be done. It might not be done right when he says it's going to be done, but you better believe that somewhere down the line, it's going to be done. A lot of people said the public charge stuff, he couldn't get that done, and it's done, and it's now in full effect. A lot of people said when he proposed the denaturalization of immigrants, people said that's not going to happen. The only way you can lose your citizenship is under a couple of things like treason, terrorism, and that was pretty much about it. Well, that list has become extensively longer now, and the lines are no longer black and white. It is so gray that probably anyone could potentially fall into becoming denaturalized. Now, there are a lot of people out there who came over at a green card at some point, exchanged that green card for a vow and citizenship, and started feeling really safe. I'm no terrorist. Even if I do bad stuff, I'll probably just get involved with selling some drugs or doing whatever. I'm just saying, setting up a scenario. And they believe that they cannot be deported, right? And it has been like that for the longest. Even murderers or those suspected of taking part in murders were non-deportable if they were naturalized citizens. That's officially off the table. Today, the New York Times said Justice Department has officially established an office to denaturalize immigrants. This is an immigration update video. Today, Justice Department has officially established an office to denaturalize immigrants. This is breaking news. The department called the decision a move to bring justice to terrorists, war criminals, sex offenders, and other fraudsters. But some lawyers fear this is going to be used for a broader crackdown. The Justice Department said Wednesday that it has created an official section in its immigration office to strip citizens' rights from naturalized immigrants. Let me say that again. The Justice Department said on Wednesday that it has created an official section in its immigration office to strip citizens' rights away from naturalized immigrants. And this is a move that gives more heft, more thump to Donald Trump's administration's broad effort to remove from the country immigrants who have committed crimes that have become citizens. What they've realized is that a lot of criminals were actually hiding behind that citizenship stuff. Oh, I'm already naturalized, so I'm probably going to just do my jail time and get out and get back to my regular life and my family. Nope. No. If you weren't born here, you're in trouble, but you need to listen to the rest of this. The denaturalization section, as it's called. For those of you who don't know what denaturalization means, it means that you came over here as an immigrant. You went through the process of going from a temporary state to a permanent state to a citizenship. Now you hold an American passport. You're officially a citizen of the United States of America. That can now be taken away from you if you fall into one of these lines. The act of taking that away from you is called denaturalization. The act of getting your citizenship is called naturalization. The denaturalization section underscores the department's commitment to bring justice to terrorists, war criminals, sex offenders, and other fraudsters who illegally obtained naturalization. Joseph H. Hunt, the head of the Justice Department Civil Division, said in a statement. Now let me say this before I go any further. Sex offenders, it was one point where a sex offender would not be on the deportation list unless they were either illegal immigrant, temporary stay, green card holder, that kind of stuff. Not stripped of their naturalization. There are others that are on this list that you won't believe. Listen, the denaturalization section will further the department's effort to pursue those who unlawfully obtain citizenship status and to ensure that they are held accountable for their fraudulent conduct, Mr. Hunt said. Of course, you obtained your citizenship by fraud and they find out, you're going to be stripped of it. That's only a given, right? But it goes beyond that, and this is what the lawyers are worried about. The move promises to further expand a practice that was once used infrequently, wasn't used enough, is what Trump's saying, but that the Trump administration has increasingly turned to as a part of its immigration crackdown. It has raised alarm among some department lawyers who fear that this denaturalization lawsuit could be used against immigrants who have not committed serious crimes. Now, people are going to say, well, how about you don't commit any crime at all? Behave yourself. Serious crimes, no serious crimes, crime is crime. It starts to get murky in these waters, right? So, they're saying that the administration's desire to prioritize denaturalizations underscores the idea that naturalized citizens have fewer rights than those who were born in the United States, and that immigrants should never assume that they cannot be deported, even if you have gone through the naturalization process. The new section will replace the team of immigration lawyers who have been asked to focus on cases that revoke citizenship from those who have been convicted of terrorism, war crimes, human rights violations, and sex offenses. You heard that? Human rights violations and sex offenses. Alright, so I've said to a couple of people before, I said, especially the men, I've said, listen to me, man. If she says no, it's no. Do you know that even your girlfriend or your wife can call rape? And you can find yourself stripped of your citizenship. This is real. And you can find yourself stripped of your citizenship and shipped out of the country. So you can't imagine if your wife just doesn't want to be with you anymore and she's a vindictive person. Maybe I shouldn't even take it that far, but it does happen. So I'm just being as realistic as possible. I'm putting you onto game so you can prepare yourself for what is happening right now, what they are unveiling. Those who are convicted of terrorism and war crimes, we don't care about. We know that's a given. Those who got their citizenship through fraudulent means, we know that's a given. If they find out, they're going to kick you out of the country. That's a given. Human rights violation? Let me tell you what human rights violation could come down to. I am a homosexual male, and I say to you, or you say to me, I'm gonna punch you in your mouth, and use the F word that they use. Get human rights violation? Human rights violation is such a broad spectrum. Such a broad spectrum. You want to start using an N-word at people and telling them you're going to mess them up. If you're exercising hate against anyone because of their race, color, creed, religion, sexual orientation, human rights violations. Do you see how broad of a spectrum that is? This was not on the books before, right? And now, of course, sex offenses. And we know that not everybody that get caught up with the sex offenses is actually just a rapist. But if it's a sex offense that got you into court, they're going to start that deportation and that denaturalization paperwork ASAP. The department has not announced who will lead the office, but several department officials and lawyers expected Timothy Belson, who has taken the lead to the department's denaturalization work, to assume the role. Mr. Belson helped to revoke the citizenship rights of a Yugoslavian-born convicted war criminal who omitted from her naturalization application the fact that she had executed unarmed civilians during the 1900s Balkan conflict. The Justice Department under President Obama also used to pursue denaturalization, but it was used sparingly, and it targeted people who did lie on their applications and got their paperwork by fraudulent means, and people that committed other crimes like war crimes and terroristic acts. But under this Denaturalization Act, under the Trump administration, it has been ramped up. Of the 288 denaturalization cases that are sitting in the department that were filed since 2008, about 40% of them were filed since 2017. So between 2008 till now, there has been 288 denaturalization cases where the people were actually stripped off. That's almost 300 people have completely lost citizenship and were deported. So don't think it's not happening, right? And yeah, those might have been people that were put under the fraudulent paperwork to get their citizenship, terroristic acts, etc., etc. According to official department numbers, though, over the past 3 years, the denaturalization case referrals to the department has now increased by over 600%. So there are that many people on the books. From the earliest days of the Trump administration, officials including Stephen Miller, the White House aide, who has given much of Trump's immigration policy, said denaturalization could be used as part of a broad pushback on immigration. Some Justice Department immigration lawyers have expressed worries that denaturalization could be broadly used to strip citizenship, according to 2 lawyers who spoke on the conditions of anonymity for fear of retribution. They don't want to be known. They're speaking from behind closed doors, but they're saying that this could be used on a much wider scale. They cite the fact that the department can pursue denaturalization lawsuits against people who commit fraud, as it did against 4 people who lied about being related to become a citizen. Fraud, though, they're saying, can be defined broadly. It's not just, oh, you lied on your paperwork, you fraudulently put paperwork together and lie about certain things to gain. Fraud can be much broader than that, and includes smaller infractions like a misstatement on the citizenship application. But Justice Department officials are saying that the new section would actually prioritize who has committed serious violations of laws. And the lawyers are saying they're lying. They're lying because once these laws are on the books, they're going to be using it however they feel like using it to get as many people out as possible. When the department announced this new section, it cited successful denaturalization cases, including a naturalized citizen who had recruited for Al-Qaeda in the United States, and one who had sexually abused a 7-year-old family member. Took away his citizenship, kicked him out the country. So, I've been telling people for the longest, though, that, listen, you can get your citizenship taken away. For some reason, every time I go do my research and I come back and I try to spread information to the people who want to hear it, who want to be updated with valid information, there are always the naysayers that jump in. And that's the problem we have with today's internet. There's so much truth on the internet, but then there's so much garbage, right? And after a while, you don't know what's true and what's not true. And everybody becomes an attorney, and everybody becomes someone who knows everything, even though if you meet them in real life and you really have a one-on-one conversation face-to-face, they know pretty much nothing. They're regurgitating some stuff, probably reading and typing into the computer at the same time, or just making stuff up as they go along from stuff that they've heard, not knowing where to go find credible information, and not knowing how to properly vet their source before releasing said information to a broader public. Now, I must tell you that I've always said this, they play by different rules, not what's on the books. That is the reason why there are people who are sitting in other countries that used to be living here in the US, who are there now saying, man, they stripped me of my citizenship and kicked me out. And I didn't even do any of the things that were on the list. You were practice. They were practicing to see if it could work. And now it's officially in effect. Okay? It is officially in effect. The part that bugs me out is how broad of a brush that this is. The human rights violation part. And like I said, the new section will replace the team of immigration lawyers. It will replace the team of immigration lawyers who have been asked now to focus on the cases that revoke citizenship from those who have been convicted of terrorism, war crimes, human rights violations, and sex offenses. Think about that. Think about how broad human rights violation definition is. By definition. And like I said, if you are discriminatory against anyone and let it be known, and you are holding back anything from them or issuing any kind of threat to them based on their skin color, their race, their creed, their religion, their sexual orientation, that all of that could be seen as human rights violations. It is now an act that can get your citizenship stripped away from you and you deported out of this country. Anyhow, leave your comments in the comment section below. Tell me what you think about this one. Go ahead and find that article for yourself and read it. It was issued today in the New York Times, and it is called Justice. Justice Department establishes office to denaturalize immigrants. It's SouFLoTV. I'm out. Peace. Alright, so here we are back on our promo run. Right? That means promotions, promotions, promotions. Let me say this. First of all, don't come ask me for no free promotion. Every time I put out a promotion thing, people come talk about, SouFLo, I have this thing I want you to promote for me, you know. I've been a fan of yours and a subscriber to your channel for how many years now? Okay, if you've been a fan and a subscriber for how many years, that simply means that you've been soaking up a whole lot of free content that I take my valuable time to put together to give to you on a daily basis. When last have you ever donated to anything that I have put forward on the channel? You understand? A lot of people want them business to go forward and to boom and grow and all this, but they are afraid to spend money on themselves. Real business people know that you have to spend money in order to earn money. I know you've heard this said before, but it is factual. For instance, I used to do a $100 promotion on SouFLoTV where I would give away $100 to anybody who knew the answer, the right answer to a certain question, $100 US, and I would send you the $100 US if you were right, right? I am going to be starting to do that again soon. So this is a fine example of how you have to spend money in order to earn money. And them time that when me I give away $100 US, this channel probably had about 10, 15,000 subscribers on it. Now, as you can see, we're well past 200,000 subscribers and counting. So we have invested in building this platform. Let me give you a good example. I put up a video yesterday. 24 hours, less than 24 hours, that video has 23,000 views. Now imagine if a small commercial talking about you or your product was put into that video. That's 23,000 people that saw you or your business in the last 24 hours. You understand? 23,000 people who probably didn't even know that you or your business existed before. Now imagine if I run that in 5 different commercials and each one of those videos pick up 10, 15, 20,000, 30, 40,000. Honestly, the numbers that the videos do. Now, that platform is yours. Thousands of people are able to know about your business through my business, right? So here we are again. This week, this month, I have some very good promo deals going on. Contact me, SouFLoTV@gmail.com. Put promo in the heading so I pay attention to it right away. Don't come to me with no long talking, please. And please follow my instructions on how we are going to do it. And you will get your promotion out there as soon as possible. All right? Invest in yourself. Up, up, up. I'm out. Peace. Oh, by the way, it don't matter if you're an artist. It don't matter if you're a stripper. It don't matter if you are date people and you are look man for date or woman for date. It doesn't matter. Whatever your business is, that's your business. All right? The only thing is I cannot promote no illegal business on SouFLoTV. So whatever your business is, I can help you to promote that business. Rotted. Can you imagine if you actually have like a restaurant or any kind of business that actually caters to the Caribbean community? You know, most of the Caribbean people, they're on SouFLoTV. Especially if you're located in areas like Canada abroad, especially if you're located in areas like the UK, anywhere in the UK, especially if you're located in Jamaica or Florida. The USA period, but concentrating on the state of Florida, New York, and them places that where you know that the Caribbean community is strong. This can be very valuable to your business. Invest in your business. Invest in the growth of yourself.